Alrighty, boys and girls, here we go. On to Cobblestone. I think we're just about ready to jump live into this game. I need to open my door, man, because it's just brutal in my room at this point. Notice me. What's up, Jontron? Second map was won by SK Gaming, but unfortunately the server was changed too quickly onto the third map, so we just got caught halfway through the final round. Apologies for that, guys. I've told the admins that needs to stop because from a spectating viewpoint that's awful. They have listened, so hopefully that's not going to happen this time around. This is the final map though in the GOCL knockout stages, best of 3 between SK Gaming and Gamers2. I'm Metis, I'm solo casting, I have been the whole evening. Hopefully you guys are having a bit of fun and enjoying this. I've tried my best to make it as entertaining as possible, but it's been a very strange night of casting. If you've been here since the beginning, by the way, I tip my hat to you. I don't have a hat on, but you'll just have to imagine there is one on. So, there you go. You have my respect. Rigged. I rigged it, guys. What can I say? Cheers, PHGP. That's hard for me to actually say. Who is the favourite on this map? I think it's a pretty rough one to call. I would be interested what you guys think. Who do you guys think is going to take the third map? Who's going to win this best of 3? I want to see in chat who you guys think. Personally, I'd probably be slightly edging SK Gaming. After all, they took NIP to overtime, or very close to overtime, on Cobblestone. I think it was at the Gfinity LAN, right? Yeah, it was at Gfinity recently. So I feel like, you know, SK are probably in good shape, especially after winning that previous map as well. They're in good position. Lots of G2s, lots of SKs. It seems kind of split right down the middle. I'm seeing a lot more SKs now, and now a lot more G2s. This is really close. You guys are in agreement with me then that this best of 3 was always going to be a close one. G2, SK. Well, that's true, Lions. I mean, not with the second point with the wall hacks, but the first part is true. This is online, this isn't LAN. This is a whole different scenario, a whole different situation. I don't, Pumpkin, I'm sorry. Maybe film yourself, bro. I was told that knives had already happened, so I'm going to keep a keen eye here to see if knives is still... Yeah, they haven't already happened, so... Here we go. Apologies for that, guys. But you're going to see the knife round this time. Always came down to the one-on-one and the shank. The prison shank from Mouse in the chest of Tensky. We'll take the knife round, and we are going to have our teams set up. As you can see, the top left, guys, you just joined us. I still see people saying what's the score, who's winning. It's 1-1. It's all even, dead even in this best of 3. Just take your eyes to that top left corner and all will be revealed. SK starting on T side. Cobblestone is a map that I do think is CT sided, but I'm going to be honest, I think T's can destroy as well. This is a deceptively even map for me. Depends on the teams at hand. It's not unknown to watch Cobblestone maps where both T sides just demolish the other. But let's see. Gamers2 won that pistol. They elected to go CTs. Let's see if it pays off for them. Jeez. Both players wearing Iron Man suits there, it appeared. The bullets were real and just being absorbed. But now Innocent relocates into drop zone. And Sandon will just peek in with the Glock and put him down. It's all on Sparrow. In connected doors. Pop flash out. He is blinded. The snowstorm has descended. His eyeballs have been melted. And there we go. Just too many players, too many angles, too many bullets. For Gamers2, too many deaths. They go 1-0 behind, and SK take down the pistol round, which is pretty big. Let me close that door now, it's too cold. Why is my body trolling me so much? Sparrow, with that CZ, he's going to be aggressively pushing through mid. I thought he may go for the peek, but he's going to just hide there. And this is a good weapon to do this with, in all honesty. This is a weapon that, point-blank range, you can just melt. With that first pick as well, they're probably not going to expect the second player, but Barry runs through with the MAC-10, gets flashed in. I think that may have been from his teammate. I don't see any flashes on the side of Gamers2. I'm pretty sure they just went for Kevlar pistol upgrades. But there's the CZ at work. Point-blank. Shoots bubbles rather than bullets, correct. It seemed that way anyway. And the T's, they are going to be walking into this potential trap from Gamers2. They're coming through long on platform of B. The one dig from Mihu. Free saw his teammate get disintegrated right next to him, and now he's gone through. He answers back with ruthless aggression. Mouse with the CZ. Gets a dink, but, well, he's still going to fall down. 3 HP left on Sandon, but a 2-0 anyway. The Juan Dig fawn. The Juan Dig. And Freeze watched that go down. He watched that bullet go between his teammates' eyes. He'll never quite be the same. I thought that grenade was going to do a lot more damage to Sparrow there. Somehow he ate 0 damage from it. Hashtag just CS nade things. The physics on them sometimes makes 0 sense. Here comes the push onto drop zone. This is going to be a key factor as we move through the rounds, by the way. I feel that drop zone is one of the most integral parts of Cash. This isn't Cash, Vince. This is Cobblestone. Try that one again. Of Cobblestone. And both teams will be desperately jockeying for position to keep that Asilian. Man, it seemed like he just went ham on his mouse there. Was smacking it around. Did get the kill. Here comes Barry with that MAC-10. He's on form with that spray. 2 kills for him, 2 for Asilian. Mouse is the last player remaining with a USP in drop zone. And this should be another clear-cut round for SK Gaming. And there we go. The Danes come out on top. 3-0. Now weapons in for Gamers2. I'll be interested to see if Gamers2 go for a very aggressive defense as we saw on Train. Where they start to push up through the likes of platform, trying to catch the T's off guard. It's not unheard of for CTs to boost into drop zone and try and get around the back of the T's as well if they're just being lackadaisical around that area. So let's see if Gamers2 are going to exploit any of those weaknesses. Maneen's very aggressively through long. Nothing too out of the ordinary, however. And ISK going in for the push through the smoke with the pop flash. Sparrow's in a good position. Has he spotted any pixels? I don't think he did. Oh, he comes back round and I think he dinked Berry, who quickly has to relocate. Mouse on the boost on Tree. Makes short work of Asilian. And SK now, in this round, are struggling. They do have the AWP on Freeze, who didn't have a great session with the AWP on T side of Train. This is a whole new ball game, though. Cobblestone is certainly a map that supports AWPers more on the T side, I would say. Mihu could be a huge play here for the CTs. They need him to step up and get some frags, and he just gets wrecked. That flashbang timing, not quite on point. The second one much better, but it's not going to have any follow-up. And so therefore it's just pretty much putting a hand out and stopping SK from pushing on just yet. They go for the repeat, but Barry snaked his way into drop zone, misses the spray, finally connects that frag. He's still down to 11 after that previous confrontation with Sparrow in mid. That bomb will get planted though from Freeze. And although they're low on health, he has an AWP, so it just takes one shot and players will fall, but that's not going to happen. Sandon goes for the Molotov on the site. This is going to keep them from defusing for a little while longer, but it's just delaying the inevitable. And that is the defuse comes down from Gamers2, and will pick up their first round on CT side. I think we're in for the long haul again here, guys. I can see this going down to maybe even overtime. Oh, man. Gotta keep myself hydrated, otherwise my voice is gonna go. Seeing the support for both teams in chat's always pretty awesome. Looks like it's going to be another fast push through the platform. Asilian taking point. There's smoke there, so he can't really get spotted just yet, but he's biding his time. Molotov into chicken coop. No one's home, though. This isn't going to bother anybody. They're all stacked towards that site. Up on tree, on the boost again. And it's going to be the frags coming down thick and fast for the CTs. Here comes Berry, jumping down. But they're stacking together. They are getting the kills, however, but in doing so, they're leaving themselves vulnerable to this rotation from Mihu, who's flashed out. He's getting around the back of statue. And he is going to start to get these frags down. He gets another kill. And the CT somehow hold on to this. SK were looking to push right through onto the site. I thought this was going to be their round comfortably. But all credit to Gamers2. And Mihu in particular, who just held down from the back of site. And now SK may be on an eco. They have 6,000 on freeze. But the rest of their economy is in tatters. But they're going for the force. This is interesting. I'm not sure I agree with this tactic. I'm not sure I agree with this at all. And Mihu seemed to have been expecting the eco, so maybe playing into the mindset of Gamers2, that they're very aggressive and will go looking for those eco frags, those anti-eco frags. In doing so, it's gone down to a 3-on-3. 2 frags apiece, 4 players find themselves dead. Sandon with a Galil chimes into Mouse, and after saying, I don't know if this is the right decision, it appears that SK are reaping the rewards for this risk. Fortune does indeed favour the brave after all. Gaben has gave his blessing to SK Gaming. And Armaniz and Sparrow, your 2 remaining players, one of which is about to get fragged surely from Barry. You did let his teammate die somewhat, but the trade isn't a bad one. Overall, Sparrow coming in, 100% of his HP, has a defuse kit, but that bomb is so close to exploding. He has to go in right now. There's the first one. He's probably going to guess the last players in chicken coop because he's already got a lot of these positions off. He goes for the fake. He's going to be peeking. He gets the kill. Does he have enough time? This is going to be really close, but I think he's got it. Sparrow is going to get the defuse and pick off the 1v2 clutch. That was raw game sense. Raw, unbridled game sense from Sparrow. And SK Gaming will be slapping themselves after that round. It's not the first time they've let these clutches slip through their fingers on key rounds. They are able to buy up because of the bomb plant and the frags they acquired in that previous one. But my goodness, this should be 4-2. And Sparrow gives a huge confidence boost to Gamers2. Maniz could get caught on the... Oh, I was going to say on the retreat, but just about manages to dart away. Channels his inner Usain Bolt and sprints off. He was spotted, but that information is nothing too important because, of course, they're going to have a player on 8. That's nothing too special. So 3 players. This is standard play on CT side. 2A, 3B. Nothing out of the ordinary at all. Nice shot from Freeze on long. Good start for SK, but they've got to keep this going forward. They lack that killer instinct in these 2v2 1v1s as well. That has been the main determining factor between these two teams for me. It's that killer instinct. When the chips are down on the table, Gamers2 seem the better team. That being said, though, this round is going very comfortably in the way of SK. A 2v4, this is probably too tall an order to ask for Gamers2, and their economy not particularly great, so it's not like they can just throw away these weapons. Very, hello, no man's land, ripping pepperonis. Mihu will not get an easier frag today, I feel. And it's just a case Berry was not expecting that, really. A player to be that. And that's all a mouse. He's in a position that you see Taz play a lot from VP. Like, Taz loves this position. They go for the boosts. Typically, he'll hide here on CTs. He'll have like stacked smokes ahead of him with flashbangs. And then he'll just go for that time push. That was mean, Mouse. What did that chicken ever do to you, huh? So Gamers2, after losing round 7, are on eco. Oh, they're not on eco. I just looked at my knees and thought, oh, they're on eco. Nope, they have full weapons, Vince. Open your eyes, please. They do still have an AWP, but it is a glass cannon AWP. It doesn't necessarily matter from this position from sbirro, because if he connects a dot, well, it simply is not going to factor in whether he's got armor or not. Maniz with the CZ gets the second AWP on the side of the poles. And another kill onto Sandon, who goes peeking and just gets absolutely annihilated. And if you're going to get that AWP on the second player, you can't ask for too many better players to have it than Maniz, who is an AWPer, of course. So that's a huge pickup for Gamers2 on this force buy. Frosty Frost, I swear to God, that every time meta starts encouraging the one of the team, they start to get battered. I wish I had that power, man. I so do. I think it's just coincidence. I'm hoping it is, otherwise I'm forever cursed. 30 seconds left, and this is going to be a save. The two AK-47s are too valuable at this stage of the game to throw away on a whim. And after forcing up Gamers2, not only do they win the round, but they win it with style, keeping all 5 players alive with a CZ'd up Maniz, picking up that second AWP, and 2 AWPs on Cobblestone can definitely pay off for CTs. Tensky having a bit of a dance, not wasting his time, be burning those important calories. Which team do I think will win? That's way too close. At the start of this, I would have said SK, judging off their previous performances on Cobblestone against the likes of Nip. But the way this has gone and the way this best of 3 has gone, I think it's coin flip. I think it could definitely go down to overtime. We're just going to have to see. Neither team has really excelled or accelerated away from the other one. Another eco coming in. It's this game of economic chicken where both teams are happy enough to force buy. Who's going to be the first team to blink? Who's going to be the first team to bow out of this exchange? I would say it's going to be SK Gaming if they lose this round, because they'll have nothing to buy up with. Here comes Mouse with a spray down. Can't get too much from that, but it's more of a scouting spray. Very slow rounds here from SK Gaming. They haven't gone all out aggression other than the eco rounds and the pistol round, really. And this may be something that they want to change up going forward. Try and rush down drop zone. Try and catch Gamers2 in transition. Because Gamers2 do have a tendency to over-rotate. I said this before. The stylistic clash of these two teams on CT is that SK are very static. Gamers2 are anything but static. So try and maybe catch them off. Fake out an A. Draw a couple players away, then force B. These are just ideas that maybe we're going to see come to fruition. But they're just walking into the crossfire. The CTs have built up. sbirro with 2 kills. There's Mihu as well with 3 kills. And SK, after forcing up, are surely going to be the first team to bow out of this chicken. And they will be. $2,000 across the board pretty much. Are they even going to bother to upgrade to a couple P250s? I'm not sure. They may just throw away this round completely with Glocks. Okay, they are going to get a P250 on Berry. And I think... Nope, that's not going to be the only one. They have 3 in total. Maniz now with a cheeky aggression through mid. This is one of the downsides from a T's perspective when they have 2 AWPers and 2 very solid AWPers. Where do you peek? Where do you push? It's an anti-eco. You're expecting the worst for SK, but these are some pretty nice shots that Maniz is landing. These are clinical shots. Textbook performance on how to AWP on Cobblestone mid. It doesn't matter if they had armor or not. Those would be kills. And Mouse is going to make sure SK get no weapons in return for this round. Here comes another buy-up from SK, though. They're not going to have enough for an AWP, which could prove to be a bit of a stinging blow for them. And is the fact they're going to have 5 AKs going to force them into a more aggressive play? That's what I'm curious about. I'd like to see them try something aggressive here. 4 rounds is already not too shabby for T-side. But I've said before that T's can definitely dominate this map. You can't really look into that too much. This is a bit more aggressive through long. Nice flashbang in. Sandon claims a frag on Maniz. He's consistently been in that same position. So he was getting predictable. He gets found out. And this is what I'm talking about. Look at this very fast rotation from Gamers2. They draw out 3 players from B, just leaving Mihu there by his lonesome. SK could exploit that in further rounds. You send a player or 2 towards A. You draw out 3 players to the site. and then attack with a sort of 4-on-2 scenario on B. But that's maybe for the future. Let's keep in the here and now. As the terrorists aren't doing significant damage, they're getting the entries, and it's all on Mihu with the AK-47. And he will almost certainly... Well, I was about to say he'll almost certainly be saving this, but look at his economy. He's got 8.4k. Everyone can buy up, so he's going to try and put the foot down. The foot to the throat of SK. It's unlikely he'll defuse this, but if he can pick up another couple kills, that is going to seriously hurt SK Gaming's economy and weaponry going forward into the next few rounds. And he's going for this. He's going for broke. Sandon! Is he in a position to stop this bomb plant? It is out in the open. And there we go. Sandon does seal it up. Is the bomb going to explode? Sandon should be okay. Yeah, he'll be fine. But Mihu did pretty decent damage, and look at that from the T's. They're able to rattle together some weapons, but if they lose this, they may be back onto Galil Tech 9s. So, Galil on the side of SK on Tensky. The rest of the players have themselves grenades. And they are going to be going for A once more. Flash through there from Freeze and his teammates. That is going to catch Meniz, who goes peeking. And again, A is starting to crumble. That's a smoke from the CTs that will block off and allow Sparrow to get the frags as they push through that smoke. Gives him a huge advantage. But the T's haven't quite pulled the trigger just yet. And this time, it's like the Gamers2 have assumed this is a fake. So it's kind of the mind games on mind games. It's mind gameception at the moment. They're thinking this is a fake on towards A. We're not buying this. We're sticking with 3 players on B. Finally, they have a second player. The cavalry charges in. And because SK didn't pull the trigger, had they have just gone in on the site, it would have been a 5-on-1 actually. So would have likely just been a clear-cut round for SK. It still could be. They have the advantage. And 30 seconds are going to have to pull the trigger. And look at that. Innocent, who was the player who rotated, has now gone back towards Connect. He's gone back towards Drop Zone. And in doing so, he's left Sparrow on his lonesome for a little while longer. This is a pretty slow... Oh my goodness! Freeze through the wooden panels. Shreks Sparrow on the site. Get dunked. And with that one frag, I pretty much just gave the round to SK Gaming. 6-6. And Mihu will be trying once more to be a pain in the backside. But he's not going to get more than one frag. Well, that shot, though, was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Sparrow just got spanked. Like, straight up spanked. CZ on Sparrow, but we already saw when Meniz had one, he pushed through long and they got frags. And they are going to have 2 players pushing up long this time. Nice control and drop zone. Innocent and Maus both get themselves frags. And that's going to do a lot of damage to SK Gaming's pushing potential. The bomb was also dropped behind them, so even if they did get the entries, it would have taken them a good few moments to get that bomb towards the site itself. That does make things a lot easier to just quickly transition back to Aeon, but the issue now is that because they're 2 players behind, that in itself is going to be a huge ask for them. Innocent that onto Asilian, who has gone peeking on drop zone. And now Sparrow from behind with the CZ does chime in with the first frag. Freeze, close range, gets him on the jump. Nice frag from Freeze, who's still on 100% health. Going back to pick up that bomb that I mentioned before was around Connector. Let's take it on board with him actually. Let's see how he tries to poke and probe and force Gamers2 into mistakes. He knows his time is low. Mao's position really should get the better of him here. And he knows it. He knows if he walks down platform, it's almost certain death. And instead of throwing away weaponry that's worth well over $6,000, he's just going to save that 6k going forward for SK Gaming. And the AWP could definitely pull off some pretty huge plays, you know, for T's as well going through into the next round, because you go through mid, get a kill or 2, suddenly A is open. That could easily go into a bomb plant, and they have the weapons to back it up as well. So that save was pretty huge for SK Gaming. Sandon's probably going to be on Tech 9. Yeah, there we go. Tech 9 with grenades and the Kevlar. And Berry is once more pushing to long. And again, there's 2 players there from CTs. So they're giving up mid completely, the CTs. They're banking that every push comes from long. And I like this because Sparrow has been just bossing mid for so long right now. The crossfire's been locked down. There's Sparrow with 2. Repeats with a USP and connects it onto Freeze. And again, the kills are coming in aplenty. There's Sparrow with his 4th. He's not going to seal the ace on this occasion. But Asilian now faces off, fends off against 3 poles. And he's made noise. And it's pretty obvious where he is. And he's got an AWP. So, if Gamers2 can just hold their location, if they can just hold their angles, this should be a very comfortable round in the end. Don't give Wrapped any frags away here to Asilian. He does have the bomb and he's got grenades. Crazier things have happened in CSGO. But make no mistake, this is rough for Asilian. 25 seconds coming up. Oh, he legs Innocent, who was jumping up and down. Nearly took his kneecap straight off. He should be able to get this plant, which is going to secure a decent buy for that last round for the SK Gaming lineup. And that's all she wrote for the 14th round. Gamers2 take themselves the 8th, 8-6 now. And they'll be hungry for that 9th round here coming forward. Sandon, 12 frags. Sparrow, 12 as well. But remember, he got 4 in that previous one. So he just leapfrog from nearly bottom to top. And without that bomb plant, they'd have a lot of Tech 9s on their side. They still are going to have 2 Tech 9s, but that allows them to get more grenades. That bomb plant was pretty big, actually, all things considered, from Asilian. This time, they're going to be running a player right up mid. That's Maniz, and he is going to be pushing through this smoke. That's so ballsy. I'm surprised he can even walk, because balls must be dragging along the floor. Risky, though. Very risky. It was a bit fortunate that they didn't have more AKs, because the spray was coming through that smoke. He did get touched a couple times from bullets. Asilian with the entry onto drop, and he goes down there, and he is very aggressively making a move. He is playing that quintessential interference maker. He's all by himself, but he's brought 3 players to his location. The issue here, though, is that SK have not done anything with that. They haven't pushed through, and they're still losing players. 3 on 3, 50 seconds left. Maniz in a great position to strike. Here comes the M4. He only gets the 1 kill. Will be disappointed with that outcome. Probably should have had 2. But now he has to hope that his other 2 teammates can chime together and pull this one off. There's the first frag. It's all on Freeze with the AWP. 35 seconds. Just looks away from connector. That smoke is going to stop the push for now. Here comes the bomb plant as well. Instantly afterwards, the CTs have to wait for this and push together. Freeze spots a glimpse, but was too slow to react. I'm just saying, the Freeze on CT side of train would have landed that shot. The guy was missing nothing. 9-6. Cobblestone is a map, though. This is definitely not over. This is the kind of map where either side can dominate. This isn't the likes of a nuke. This isn't the likes of a train where you're expecting CT to by and large get the majority of their rounds. Cobblestone is a map where anything goes. It really depends on the teams. Gamers2 have a solid T half. SK have a solid CT half. So this is going to be a brilliant 3rd map. That's for sure. I still feel this is a coin flip. If Gamers2 win this pistol, however, the advantage is definitely in their favour. And the CTs will know it. SK know this. The pressure is mounting for them. So here we go. Pushing through platform. Oh, Mihu! Hello, Sandon. You just got destroyed. There's no other way of me putting that. You just got completely decimated. And that entry has opened up so many avenues for Gamers2. But now it's Freeze who chimes in with his USB headshots. There's Berry and Tensky. And for as good as that opening pick for Mihu was, it may not even matter. because the rest of his team have just been put 6 foot under with authority. The bomb is in a horrible place as well for Maniz. Nice shot freeze from Innocent. Very true. Those shots are ridiculous. All the pressure's on Maniz. Like, what does he do from here? He has no Kevlar, so the aim punch is going to be pretty brutal for him. And also no life. I was going to say he's got a grenade, but it's not really going to stop them from just sitting there and waiting for him. So, Gamers2 take the upper hand with that first entry, which was just obscene through the smoke. And then SK say, yeah, USP. This is why pretty much everyone uses the USP, because it is just broken in the right hands. One taps for days, boys. One taps for days. Gamers2, interesting enough, not every player's gone for Kevlar with pistol upgrade. That's a hell of a nade that lands by the feet of Mouse. 55 damage off him. SMGs are plenty for SK Gaming, but it's going to be the FAMAS, the assault rifle, that rips in first, breaks the deadlock in this round. There's the second FAMAS from Asilian as well. I thought the retaliation was going to be coming in. Oh, Maniz has missed his opportunity, or has he? No! He does pick up the frag with the Tech 9 from point blank range, has the bomb, has an MP7, and now has a site to plant on. Now, he shouldn't win this round, judging by the weaponry on SK Gaming, the fact they've got a molly, the fact they've got weapons as well. He shouldn't win this, but the fact he's got a plant is pretty massive. And there we go. I wasn't expecting the clutch to factor in. That's going to be a comfortable defuse for SK Gaming, but take it in context, guys. That was pretty big for Gamers2, I should say. My brain is melting in this heat. Another forcing from Gamers2 after that bomb plant. This is, again, kind of a risky play, but could pay off for them. They realise that if SK were to lose this round convincingly, their economy is broken. It is in ruins. It's in tatters. It's on the floor. It's been stamped on. So here comes that ruthless aggression once more from Gamers2. It makes for exciting Counter-Strike if nothing else, because SK, they've been playing solid. Gamers2's economy rounds have actually been really, really deadly. Look at this from Sparrow. They've ran straight past a player, though. And that is going to be that man Berry, who gets his double. Meanwhile, though, Mihu runs through drop zone. He bags himself a frag. Berry gets picked off from Mihu, who's looking for another, and that insta-dink was crazy. Oh my goodness, Mihu. Your P250 and pistol skills are just disgusting. I may just AFK and take a shower to wash that off me, because that's how disgusting that was. Just an insta-snap to the head, like, boom. What's that? You had 100% HP, now you've got 90, bro. Deal with it. And just as I was saying, that Gamers2 have sick economy rounds, they rush in with the Tech 9s, they rush in with the Kevlar and do damage. They go ahead and pick themselves up that round. And as I said, SK's economy just got flushed down the toilet. So SK, can you do to Gamers2 what just got done to you? Can you return that favour? It doesn't look likely, does it? Considering, in fairness as well to SK, Gamers2 did run with Kevlar. SK have none. They got a USP on freeze, which is fantastic in eco rounds and pistol rounds. Not so much when the enemy has armour. And speaking of the aforementioned freeze, he is your last remaining player for SK Gaming, and he's gone hunting for a frag on Sparrow, I think. This is an interesting tactic, though. Typically, players don't want to save up USPs. I think he was hoping that a Gamers2 player would kind of isolate themselves from the herd from the pack and go searching for the kill, and in doing so he could get like a cheeky frag and pick the weapon up. That's what I'm assuming was going on there, because there's no real reason to save that USP. He had no Kevlar, no nades, nothing. Double eco from SK Gaming. They're playing for the long haul. They're not trying any cheeky tactics. They want to save up for some AWPs. Makes a lot of sense on the CT side of Cobblestone. We saw how it worked for Gamers2 when Maniz and Sparrow both had one on A. So maybe SK Gaming are going to take a long hard look at that tactic and try and run with it themselves. They do have grenades this time though, and more upgraded pistols. We don't have any USPs in their inventory, but we do have a very vulnerable Freeze who's just been put 6 foot under courtesy of Mouse's AK. And that will be A, completely open. But again, look where the bomb is. It's all the way here in Connector. They can't get that bomb anytime soon. I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of difference, however. It's a nice frag from Massilian. He can jump and pick that weapon up here. So they could do a bit of damage. SK could get themselves a couple more frags, but look at Massilian. I do not envy his position. It's just suddenly a stampede of angry terrorists chasing you down with AK-47s. I think he pretty much gave up. And indeed, we do have an AWP in. Not double AWP, just the one for Freeze. No grenades for him, but again, it doesn't necessarily matter if you position yourself in towards mid. And in factual fact, he's deciding to use more of Maniz's position, and that's on long. Gero is Sparrow. Yeah, I've been saying that, right? Or I've been saying Spiro. I don't know. I'm English. I'm a scrub, guys. Report me. I'm sorry to the Polish viewers. I pronounce names terribly. That Molly was intridasting. I think it derped a tiny bit there. He was hoping to get it around the corner onto the little boost spot. But either way, Sandon on the platform of B long does do some damage, and an identical drop for that bomb keeps options open for Gamers2, but they are losing players in the 21st round. And Sparrow from along with Mouse. So this is an interesting setup from the T's. They're trying to really fake this A site. They're trying their best to convince SK, look guys, we're going A, stack A. SK have somewhat bought this. I'm surprised they're still here. When you see these smokes go down and nobody rushes in afterwards, you must know it's a fake. Your spidey senses surely are tingling at this point. They're still sticking 2 players on the A side. And in doing so, you're allowing the terrorists to just force you down, and there's Sparrow with 2 frags in quick succession. Sandon and Berry both fall prey to his AK-47. And Massilian and Tensky, who were the 2 A players that I was talking about, who were static, now find themselves in a precarious spot, and they have to back away. And this goes back onto the point I was making before as well. SK Gaming are very static on their CT sides. They can be very stubborn at times, is like the feeling that I get. That they sit down in their positions and they're going to sit there until they die. And sometimes that proves to be a great advantage for you because you don't get faked too much. But sometimes it can definitely prove to be a downfall. Tensky will get one of the exit frags onto Sparrow. He's not going to have that weapon going forward. Sparrow. That's how you say it, is Sparrow. I don't know, guys. I'm going to keep saying Sparrow. If it's wrong, I apologize. I'll try and fix that for next time. Going for the pop flashes in mid. There's Freeze with a quick pick. We saw him last time going through long with the AWP. Nice to mix it up from him. And he has been rewarded for that unpredictability. 3 players stacked on B once more in pretty close proximity to one another as well. 2 of them are going to get the crossfire. Although it is Sandon that gets it cleanly in the end. Sandon who gets his second frag. Not quite as clean this time around, but it doesn't matter because the first 3 casualties of the 22nd round go the way of Gamers2. SK are locking down B. The bomb is in the hands of Mihu, so it's not out in a horrific position on platform, or even worse yet, drop down on the site. But they still want to fully dedicate themselves to this site. What a shot from Mihu on the jump. Mouse will get the kill from the grave with that Molotov that bounces off the wall for Berry. And even though Mihu falls down, they did get 2 frags there in a 5v2 scenario. Which, not fantastic for Gamers2, but at least it's something to take away from that round. Take the silver lining off that dark cloud overhead. And because of their economy, they've been saving up after winning 4 rounds in a row, including 2 bomb explosions. They have AKs once more. 21 for 15 for Sparrow, 19 for 15 for Sand, and everybody else pretty much filling in the gaps. No one's vastly underperforming, and no one's necessarily excelling this game. It has been very close between the two teams and all the players on the server. That makes for very enjoyable Counter-Strike and a very close, tense finale. SK on the CT side now. They're trying their best. They're trying to mix things up. They're trying to be unpredictable. Gamers2's T side has seemed to be very, very strong to me. Barry's taking some punishment. 28 health in total as he backs away from drop zone. They give that position away for now. Sandon's left it completely, and Mouse is just there waiting. He's waiting for some grenades to come down so they can push together. No one is home. Berry's waiting next to the window, but he's not actually in drop zone itself. And it seems that Sparrow is again running with that lurker. He's running with that pain in the backside. And he will get picked off from Freeze, but he keeps him in position. That bomb gets dropped. It hasn't been planted. 15 seconds. This should work against Innocent. 13 seconds. He's going for the plant, and Berry's allowing him to plant almost. Does finally get that peek in. I thought that Berry was going to let him plant. I'll pull all my hair out, what remains of it anyway. But SK get themselves a 23rd round. They're in double digits now as well. But again, Gamers2, they just had so much economy, and because the T side not quite as expensive as CT, they're able to force out another buy, albeit with a Tech 9. But we've already seen that when Gamers2 have a few Tech 9s, they're not scared of rushing in. They could be to their doom though, because there's Freeze. As Cillian gets picked off there, probably would have been fancying his chances. Freeze misses one of those AWP shots, and that's going to be the end of his life, courtesy of Mihu, who then gets caught, but won't get fragged. Maniz is there, good guy Maniz, picking up the slack from his teammates. Now Mouse comes in with a frag, and SK are just crumbling. Frag after frag after frag for Gamers2. It's one of those rounds that I'm sure SK would like to push the rewind button, the skip back button, and try that round again. Freeze could have connected another 2 shots with the AWP as they push through mid. Cillian probably should have done better on the spray down from mid itself. Shoulda, woulda, couldas, it doesn't matter. There are no retries, there are no repeats in CS. You just have to go forward, and that's going to be the force in. They don't want to play for overtime. They want to try and win this game outright and give themselves a chance. So it's going to be an AWP with 4 pistols, and they do claim the first kill. The deadlock has been lifted, but Gamers2 again refusing to lose, refusing to go down without a fight. Mihu, please replace that skin. It offends my eyes. Safari mesh. Throwing up in my mouth a tiny bit. Manisa with another frag though as I'm speaking there from Berry. And Mouse has spotted Tensky, so this probably should be a frag, but he doesn't go for the peek. Instead, waiting for that flashbang. This could prove to be the end of his life. Indeed it will, because Tensky read that like a book. He was several pages ahead of Mouse. Spoiler, by the way, Mouse, you die. 3 on 3. 33 seconds left on the timer. And Gamers2 have made noise. And that's going to run right into Sandon's hands. And he's happy with that exchange. Still that AWP's in play, but that's all that remains for Freeze. Bomb has been planted. Freeze, what can you pull off? You've got no grenades, no defuse kits, no life. 15-10. And with that force spike from SK, I'm a bit... Oh, I didn't want to look at their economy because it makes me sad. It makes me sad on the insides. It's going to be pistols, it's going to be Kevlar, it's going to be some grenades. 4 CZs, 1 P250 for Berry. That's it. That's all that stands between SK Gaming and a 2-1 loss to Gamers2. And Gamers2, after seeing the weaponry that was on SK, they're going to know this is the kind of scenario that they're up against. When they saw that AWP on Freeze, when they saw the pistols with the grenades, they will know what's up against them for absolute certainty. Here come the flashes, but here comes Sandon, and he's got the AK, it drops down for him. Beautiful play from Sandon. That gives SK Gaming a lifeline. But is the life support going to get pulled? Is the plug going to come out of the socket from Maniz? We've seen him consistently get frags from that mid position. Sandon, I'd almost like to see Sandon toss that AK away. He's only got 12 HP. Throw it to somebody near you that has more. Tensky has just got himself an AK as well. Okay, they just picked themselves up another AK. And Sandon has done what I just said, basically. So, good on you, Sandon. Good guy, Sandon. Oh, his teammate of Berry gets picked off on the cross, but there's Tensky through the smoke. And Freeze as well. And SK Gaming could be bringing this back. We saw them bring it back, in fairness, on Cash from an identical margin. It was 15-11, 15-10. Have I spoken too soon? Innocent is still in the 1v2. He still has this potentially, but there's Freeze through a statue. Innocent gets dropped. A great round from Sandon. The dude needs to take a bow. Those 2 first frags were massive for SK Gaming. Sure, Freeze came in with the kills, but those were huge impact frags that Sandon bagged himself. Do they have a good enough economy to run with full weapons, though? Yes, they do. And grenades to boot. So, could be a few more chapters in this book of this best of 3. Spray through the door. Cillian dropped to 69 HP. This is cheeky. He's gone for the return and he gets the kill onto Maniz. You live by the sword, you die by the sword, Maniz. Don't have much sympathy for you, bro. Maniz shifts off his mortal coil towards Valhalla for the rest of this round. Potentially the rest of the game, if his teammates can pull this clutch off, this 4v5. Still got 3 players stacked towards B site, and it's going to be an A push. It's only a matter of seconds before this becomes blaringly obvious to SK Gaming and very much apparent, because these smokes have isolated from connector. They've isolated onto platform as well. Freeze goes for the peak and gets destroyed, and that could be what ends up costing them dearly. Here's Berry. He needs to perform right now. He's in such a good position to rain down some pain and suffering onto Gamers2, and he's missed a hail of bullets. His teammates are coming in. Berry's still unable to get a frag. Here we go. Sandon comes in, the saviour, and gets the final as well. But fairness to Berry, he did hold off the push on the site. He was a presence on the site. So Gamers2 had to respect the fact he was there. They couldn't just rush on. Sandon again, he's the kind of player that steps up when someone needs a hero. 27-18. He's the top fragger on the server. And his team is still fighting for overtime. That being said, Gamers2 are on a force with 2 Kevlar, on a Tech 9 and a P250 for Mihu and Innocent respectively. The rest of the team have upgraded pistols as well. So this isn't a straight up eco, but it's not a straight up force by either. It's that strange grey area in the middle. And the idea is to just have this round. If you lose, fair enough, we can get AKs and Kevlar next anyway. Drop zone, completely vacant from SK Gaming. And this could play into the hands of Gamers2 because they've got CZs and these are devastatingly powerful at close range alongside the Tech 9s. But perhaps not as Cillian with the spray onto Maniz. And he's going to put him down. And that leaves Innocent and Mihu, the two Kevlar players. And I mentioned previously, are your comrades in arms. But they've both been picked off an SK with their 13th round. But here's what I'm talking about. Gamers2 still have enough economy, whatever happened in that round, to get up AKs with enough grenades to make this interesting. Do you believe in chat, guys? Do you believe this comeback is real from SK Gaming? Uh-oh. That scared the crap out of me, I'm not gonna lie. That absolutely scared the crap out of me. I was like, not again! But they're pushing from Gamers2 towards long, in mid as well. They're playing this one slow with the bomb behind them, which is in the hands, the very capable hands of Maniz. GOCL scared the crap out of me, confirmed. Mihu has already been dropped to 13, so that's pretty significant for Gamers2. Every single weapon is going to count. We've seen that SK have now found some form. They found their rhythm on their CT side. But have they left it too little too late? That is the question, because Gamers2 only need to get like 1 or 2 sick entry frags, and that could be the end of the map. That's always the scaring factor when you're 15-13, 15-12 behind on a CT side of any map, that it's going to come down to those entries, and it could be Maniz that's the man to do the job, but he's been traded out. Look at Mihu's position. It's a flurry of frags, and they're going directly in the favor of Gamers2. 2 players, though, are extremely low. Mao's on 9, Mihu on 13. The bomb's been planted. There is a defuse kit for Asilian and a Molotov for Freeze. So let's jump over to their perspective and see how they're going to approach this retake. Freeze throwing out the Molotov. That could potentially secure the first kill. Are they going to guess the last 2 players along? It may not even matter. The time is still ticking down. Lovely shot from Asilian, but it's now going to come down to Innocent. He peeks it out. He peeks a second time, a third time. There's 1 second, and he's picked off the head of Asilian. And that'll take us to 16-13 in favour of the Terrorists and Gamers2. What a fantastic best of 3 that was. Every map went the distance. Every single map went down to the wire. I thoroughly enjoyed that, guys. I hope you did too. Gamers2, the deserved victors in the end. Whew. I'm not sure what else to say, guys. Gonna quickly do the outro, and I'll be right back to speak to you guys about all the action that we just witnessed.